It would be a lie if you told me that you hadn't heard about Roblox once in your life. With 390 million monthly active users, and over 85 million players logging daily, the chances of you not knowing about it are absurdly low. A platform that gives all the creators complete liberty to create, and the players the ability to choose. Millions of experiences available on one single platform: social games, shooters, arcade simulators, name a genre, and in Roblox you will find it. I have been playing this game since 2016 and have witnessed many games, and how they come and go. Some games stay and some others don't, but at the end of the day it's the responsibility of the developer to take care of his game. A constant battle of developers to see who deserves the community the most. One day your game is going trending, the other day it won't. But there is one game always looked outstanding to me among the blokesy aesthetic all the others had in Roblox. And that game is Frontlines. If we are going to speak about Frontlines, firstly we have to talk about Maximilian Studios and the team behind it. If you once saw Frontlines and thought the team behind it were new at Roblox developing, let me tell you that you are wrong. Maximilian Studios made their first popular game with the release of Operation Scorpion around 2018, becoming a successful hit around the players. The graphics of the game for 2018 were really innovative, and it became the example and a benchmark of Roblox developing for the other developers. Even big content creators like Ruben Sim or Synthesize did videos about Operation Scorpion around 6 or 7 years ago, showcasing how it truly became a one-of-a-kind. If you got the chance to play it on the past, you know what I'm talking about. Sadly, this game is now unavailable as it has been shut down by Maximilian Studios. In an old Q&A on Frontlines Reddit, apparently a developer said it was necessary because they had to focus on Frontlines and they had a vague plan about adding an Operation Scorpion type gamma mode to the Frontlines experience, but this never came out of simple statements. However, what we do know is that Frontlines development might have started around late 2018 or early 2019. Maximilian Studios was really open about the development of this game, and constantly released teasers on their Discord, and answered questions on their official subreddit. People didn't know, but Maximilian Studios was working on their next game that would once again set up the standards for the developing community. The constant search of using the Roblox engine to its max has always been a priority for the team of Maximilian, innovating with its graphics every time they had the chance to. Most likely this meant that the studio team grow up in size by this period of time. If we consider the now development of a new game, and the maintenance of Operation Scorpion, the rest of the development of Frontlines came calmly apart from the delays, which, not trying to be a hater or say it in bad terms, but Maximilian Studios likes to delay their games. And when I say delay, I mean delay them a lot. I have my hypothesis later on in the video about my stance about this and what I think could be the cause of the constant delays and overall slow maintenance of the studio games, but we have not gotten to that part yet. But what we do know is that Frontlines, at these times, is supposed to release shortly, and it could happen any second now. And release it did, late 2020. Came in, and with it came Frontlines gameplay. There is old gameplay available of Frontlines and what it used to be. It maintained that same blocky characteristic design from Roblox and still had big maps instead of the close quarters and run and gun they now have. The closest game I can resemble it to it's to Phantom Forces, and their big and open maps, While the graphics were good, it was nothing compared to what the final Frontlines delivered. Around 3 years ago came, and the demo of Frontlines came with it too. We still had that blocky design on the characters, but now maps were improved and gun models. Overall, the only aspect that could resemble the developer-only version was the fact that the characters were still in their recognizable Roblox blocky design. But only 1 year after that, it struck, the new and upgraded Frontlines game. This time with the character design upgraded, mechanics on weapons like recoil or others now improved, map making way better. A game that was not surprising because of graphics or mechanics, but because of the natural combination of both. You see, good graphics were starting to be a more current thing on Roblox, and overall were games that were capable of giving that experience. But what they had in graphics they lacked in making the mechanics or overall the game work, or simply it was a bad game. But Frontlines had an overall good mechanics and great graphics, which it's why it made it so popular. Bunch of content creators that never had touched Roblox ever now were playing it and making videos on the new Super Roblox game that looked like modern warfare. Millions of visits, thousands of likes were constantly getting to the game. Thousands of players constantly active and playing the game. It even made it into the top charts of popular games of Roblox, staying in the home page for a long while, mostly because everyone was trying the new game and enjoying it. Due to hype, no updates were needed, only the innovation of the game was necessary to keep the players hooked on it. The more popular shooter games at the time were Arsenal and Phantom Forces, which had a very different aesthetic overall, which made Frontlines a one-of-a-kind on his genre, and everyone was expecting to see which was the future of this new and innovative game and which plans the Maximilian Studio had for its future and maintenance. Surely a game so good couldn't fail, right? But something a project with that much hype and innovation needs a lot of work to be maintained. Sadly, Maximilian Studios maybe didn't have the capacity to keep up with this now needed job to fulfill the expectations that everyone had on this game. To explain more clearly the reasons that many people think could have been the downfall of this game, I made a post on the Roblox Reddit asking other people about their opinion on this matter and to have in account other points of view to make this video way more complete and overall with a better quality. So let's break down each point specifically. Let's start with this one: lack of updates and a no sound bug that made the game unplayable. Take into account that a game like this was expected to have new maps, constant bug fixes and optimization. One of the most expected updates were the cosmetic add-ins. People didn't care even if it had a cost of Robux. People just wanted to feel the game was going in advance and constantly innovating. Maybe even grab those Call of Duty recognizable setup. But time passed and people just keep waiting and updates weren't coming, which made people grow tired of waiting and just go back to their old already established games like Arsenal or Phantom Forces. At the same time, they mentioned the fact that Roblox's biggest demographic is in fact mobile players, and the fact that the game lacked optimization on mobile, or simply it wasn't made or able to be played on this device, left a big part of the base of players out. Thing that didn't happen with other more arcade directed games like Arsenal. Following with this one about the biggest Roblox player base, children, especially little ones. It's in fact not a mystery that surely more than 50% of Roblox player base might be occupied by children. This explains why colorful and simple games like Obbies or Tycoons have always been on top, because children will always go for simpler and more arcade games. That's why nowadays you see games like Grow a Garden, or even Italian Brainrot games, being on the charts of popular games, and love it or not, if you cannot adapt to this player base, you're losing a big part of Roblox demographic, most loyal players, that will slowly make the gap bigger and bigger. We keep on adding with this one, talking about the fact that it needs a good device to run smoothly and overall have a good gameplay experience, and it's in fact true that most people that have good devices for gaming would rather play AAA games with multi-million-dollar companies behind them and with a well-established base that will guarantee a good maintenance and longevity that could extend for long years. The fact the game wasn't innovating and staying as a run and gun made the game boring for some people. Now going for what I think were the reasons, I think the first one was definitely the slow progress in the game. This game requires you to grind a lot to unlock weapons or even attachments. Being forced to play with the same weapon for hours to unlock simple attachments that will upgrade your overall experience can become tedious, and I say it because it happened to me. After unlocking 3 weapons I was already tired. and couldn't really keep up to even think about unlocking secondaries because I simply didn't want it to spend that much time for a different gun. The second one for me was the lack of competitive support, not even adding a ranked gamma mode. Even with the big potential this game had for the competitive scene, one always felt the time to kill was good and the mechanics had a bunch of possibilities on ranked, but sadly we never saw it happen. Now in the present we could tell that Frontlines encounters a dead state with only 500 to 400 active players on the game, and really no major updates coming in the way, or at least not being the main objective of the developers for now. But hey, at least I found that the audio bug many people were saying it ruined their experience was at least being worked out in collaboration with the actual Roblox engine developing team, which shows how Maximilian Studios have really made a name for themselves to the high-ups. We know that Maximilian Studios now is a fully developed team with many developers on their roll, since they offered many positions in the past that now seem to be filled out. Some info and footage on Clarence Maximilian, the owner of Maximilian Studios, showed that at some point, or maybe still, they are developing a racing game with the name Underground Racing that from the looks out seems very good. But I couldn't find way too much information or any more footage on the matter. Mostly a category in their Discord asking for suggestions on cars and overall general talking. If you have any info on the matter, feel welcome to send it my way, or speak about it on the comments. What I did find plenty info about is about their sequel to Frontlines, a brand new game with a way more arcade play style with the name Frontlines Versus, which appears to take into a more fast and paced gamma mode with 1v1s and 2v2s. They were working on this project a long time ago, but it was a surprise to me that I only found out about it while I was doing research for this video, so if it's a surprise to you, don't worry, it was also to me. Apparently just 3 to 2 days before making this video, an open test was made for the demo for everyone to play the game this weekend, and overall give encouragement to the developers for testing fixes and mostly know about their experience and what could be upgraded. I entered the game myself and played some matches, and I got to say, as a casual player, I enjoyed it very much and can really see the potential of this new game brought by this amazing studio. They also improved and added many things that most people thought were major problems on the old Frontlines game. Progression feels a lot way faster, and with 30 minutes to 1 hour now, you can unlock plenty of more content to the game. Also, they added now a established cosmetic shop with bundles, skins and much more, apparently coming on the way. Being able to even buy any stuff on the open test that we're going to be able to keep on the full release. Though I didn't find any bugs or bad experiences in my playthrough, Frontlines most dedicated fanbase and players that have been playing the old game thoroughly and discovering new strategies like this triple jump boost that not even in my good old days of gaming I would be able to do. Kudos to this fanbase for being absolute sweats on this game. They did found plenty of bugs and reported them to the Frontlines official Discord, and from what it looks like, it will all be fixed. I got to say, the game looks super fun, so everyone should be keeping their eyes on this new release that will hopefully fix all the downsides old Frontlines had, and bring on now the full experience of the actual power Maximilian Studios has to make absolute masterpieces. They are making a bunch of artwork, teasers, sketches, and overall they seem like they've been working on this game for a while, and even the open test felt really well made. This could justify maybe the lack of focus on Frontlines now, knowing the fact that Maximilian Studios is constantly working on projects. Nevertheless, apparently the game has been delayed plenty of times, and in the Discord I could find a lot of messages of people being tired about the delays of the game once and once again. This happened to many years ago with the release of the original Frontlines, but in my opinion it's better to delay a game than releasing one with flaws and incompletion. So as long as they deliver a good quality game, I feel delays are a really minor part to be taken into account. All I can say is that I'm hoping the best for this new project, and sending nothing more than love to Maximilian Studios and their developing team. Finally, we come to the conclusions to finish this video. First of all, I would like to give my personal opinion on the reasons that could justify the way the whole history of Frontlines went the way it did. I think that Maximilian Studios grew a high standard in between the users due to their projects, which made the people expect way more than it is possible. We got to understand that Maximilian Studios is a little team surely with less than 100 people working on it, I'm almost certain. However, I don't have a specific number to give out. These guys are making AAA quality games on a platform that is designed to make casual and simple developed games. They are constantly pushing the Roblox engine to the limit, which could explain why they have to spend a bigger amount of time fixing and developing on it. Obviously, I'm talking in my inexperience because I have never been a developer or even touched the Roblox Studio app. But if something I'm certain is that the quality of Frontlines is one of a kind. These people, I'm pretty sure they also aren't making $1 million income like most established studios on the video game developing community, so making a AAA game without a AAA income must really be a challenge. But at the end they are trying their best to deliver. People often expect them to make a game with astonishing graphics, well-developed mechanics, and deep player and content experiences without even knowing all the sacrifices or the amount of requirements that have to be behind. At the same time, these guys have been focusing on many projects at once. That I understand that the best way of success is not putting all your eggs in one basket. But for the quality of these games, it's a challenge 10 times harder because in my inexpert opinion, I think these guys would need an independent team for each game. Even taking into account that now a possible extra racing game could be in the making, these are just a team of people trying to make games with hell of a quality in a platform that just maybe isn't really able to keep up, and doesn't even have a demographic to this day that could focus on it. Future is uncertain, and who knows, Roblox engine and overall experiences keep getting way more stable and gaining quality little by little, so maybe in a future with the required optimization, the story could be rewritten and so on. What I'm certain is that with further preparation and work, the new game of Frontlines Versus could be a really well brought experience to Roblox, and from what it looks like, Maximilian Studios will keep on giving us new and innovative surprises for the future being. Needless to say more, I would like to thank you for staying till the end and watching this video. It's the first ever video that I have made ever in my life, and now I can certainly tell that it's not easy. This was a work I did alone, and if there is any kind of information that is incorrect, I ask for forgiveness in advance. Also, I'm sorry for the lack of quality. My computer isn't that good and I don't really have any paid programs or equipment that would enhance it. This video was made on an old gaming laptop, so yeah, did my best. Hope you enjoyed this video and my investigation has brought some entertainment to your day or night, depending on which time you are seeing this. If you liked this video, you are completely welcome to comment on the topic, share it with your friends or anyone who you think would enjoy it, and drop a subscribe and a like. I would really appreciate it, bottom of my heart. I will see you guys next time. Until then, keep playing.